Hello everyone, patching into today's first video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's first video. So day 10 will take us to around the 6th of September. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles runs around a couple of weeks. And I'll look at Beijing climate change next 40 days at the end of the video. I'm going to bring you an update of what's going on with Hurricane Laura. Devastation on the Gulf Coast of the United States. It very nearly went to a Category 5. I think it just stayed as Category 4, but this is a very, very, very significant storm impact on the Gulf Coast. You see what a monster this is moving onto the coast of Louisiana right now, and I'll bring you an update for everything that's gone on there. We've got our own severe weather warnings as well, so it's going to be a bumper video, going to be a bumper edition. There's so much going on, so much to talk about. We did, in our live stream yesterday, we did pick up a new channel member. That channel member will get a shout out. I promise I'll give you a shout out. I can't do it in this video because we've got so much to get through, but you will get your shout out in a coming video either tomorrow or Saturday, and I promise I'll give that channel member their shout out in a video in the next couple of days. So right then, what else do I have to say? So coming up later on, I'm going to have what I have later on is the USA forecast. I have a USA update coming up later on. I'll see if I can get in a bank holiday update, but I don't think I'll be able to. I may have to update the blog at GavsWeatherVids.com tonight as well. So very, very busy times, and yeah, I'll just see what I do, but it'll definitely be a USA update coming up later on. Right, let's start off with this hurricane then. So this tweet from my good friend Richard Trott, well, Richard sort of shared this with me, saying hashtag, so this is from Philip Klotzbach, who is meteorologist at CSU, specialising in Atlantic Basin seasonal hurricane forecasts. So, hashtag Hurricane Laura has made landfall near Cameron, Louisiana, with maximum winds of 150 miles per hour. The strongest hashtag hurricane to make landfall in Louisiana since the last island hurricane of 1856. Also 150 mile per hour maximum sustained winds. Look at this radar image. That looks absolutely shocking, doesn't it? That is an absolute monster. What a well-defined eye we've got there coming onto the coast of Louisiana. So the strongest hurricane to make landfall on Louisiana since 1856. Quite remarkable. This is from earthnullschool.net. This is showing the wind flow chart. So again, you can see the circulation of this storm. Not quite as intense. This is sort of very latest. So it is beginning to move inland now. Inland into Louisiana, but again, it is a very, very devastating storm this, and you can see the circulation where it's whipped itself up. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit, and pull it upwards. So yeah, here we go. So again, you can just see the circulation of this system, the way that it's really wound itself up. When you think it just probably started as a cluster of thunderstorms, you know, it's probably just a cluster of thunderstorms somewhere in the tropical Atlantic. I think this one sort of came off the coast of Africa, didn't it? I think it did. So just as like a cluster of thunderstorms, it's gone from that, just an area of thunderstorms, into this, like a 150 mile per hour Category 4, getting very close to Category 5 hurricane. It is quite remarkable how these systems develop and sort of work themselves up and become so intense and so powerful. This is from the National Hurricane Center. So this is the current position of Hurricane Laura just here. So somewhere on the border between Louisiana and Texas. If we overlay Hurricane Laura, we can see we've got maximum sustained winds at the moment of 120 miles per hour. So it is weakening. This storm is weakening from the 150 mile an hour winds that it had as it came to the coast of Louisiana. It's weakened by sort of 30 mile per hour, but still giving maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. When you think these are maximum sustained, so gusts will probably still be in excess of like 140, 150 miles per hour, I would have thought. Got a minimum set pressure of 948 millibars and moving northwards at 15 miles per hour. you will notice on the extreme right-hand side of this chart that there's another disturbance area there, another little disturbance area there, that yellow X, that's disturbance 1. I won't read you anything about that, but it's got a 20% chance of becoming a tropical cyclone in the next 5 days, so just a low chance at the moment that that will develop. But yeah, it's a very active season. And we've still got whole of September and October to go, so be interesting to see what happens, of course. So the way that these hurricanes are categorized, I thought I'd just explain this again. It's from the Saffir-Simpson scale. So when we have like a Category 1 hurricane, that will be giving maximum sustained winds of 75 to 95 miles per hour. Category 2 hurricane will be giving maximum sustained winds of 96 to 110 miles per hour. Category 3 hurricane will be giving maximum sustained winds of 111 to 129 miles per hour. Category 4 will be giving maximum sustained of 130 to 156 miles per hour. And Category 5, which is the highest category we go to, is giving maximum sustained of 157 miles per hour upwards. So with maximum sustained winds of 150 miles per hour, as Hurricane Laura came onto the coast of Louisiana, it was only sort of 6 miles per hour short, or 7 miles per hour short, of becoming a Category 5 hurricane. So it did actually get very close to Category 5 Hurricane Laura. But as it is, I think it was a Category 4 hurricane. I don't think it's made it to Category 5, unless it did at some point in the Gulf of Mexico. But I think this has been a Category 4 hurricane at its peak, but very close to a Category 5. I'm sure if I'm wrong that anybody can let me know in the comments. If we click on Laura, we can see what's forecast to do. So here we go then. So Hurricane Laura, still major hurricane, of course, or just coming inland into Louisiana, is going to go down to like a Category 2 hurricane in the next few hours, and then pivot in that direction as a tropical storm and a tropical depression, then heading over to the eastern seaboard as a post-tropical depression by tomorrow. So moving very quick, actually. This storm is moving very, very quickly. So by tomorrow afternoon, this storm is on the eastern seaboard as a post-tropical depression, and then out into the North Sea, as a post-tropical storm, or into the Atlantic, I should say what I'm talking about, into the Atlantic as a post-tropical storm, in the North Atlantic there by Tuesday, and then of course we wait to see whether it gets caught up in the jet stream and moves our way as an area of low pressure later next week. It might move our way as an area of low pressure. So I'm just going to pause the video because I think tabs refreshed, so I'm going to pause the video and then I'll be back there in a second. Okay, so we're back. Tabs are fully refreshed. I don't have any more problems with refreshing of tabs for the rest of the video. So I just wanted to very quickly share this with you as well. This is footage taken of Hurricane Laura that I saw on Twitter. Somebody shared this with me on Twitter, I think, or retweeted it, and I saw it. But anyway, I wanted to share this to you. So this is from Josh Morgaman. And Josh is a hardcore hurricane chaser, Southern Californian. So I would assume Josh has gone from Southern California to Louisiana to chase Hurricane Laura. Most people will try and get out of the way of these hurricanes. Most people will get out of the way. 1 or 2 people will actually go into them. But of course that is not advised. Right, so Josh Morgan saying getting raped, #hurricane, #Laura in Sulphur, Louisiana. Have a look at this. Just have a look at this footage. Wow, look at that and see how powerful these systems are. Again, when you think that these start off just as areas of thunderstorms in the tropical Atlantic, they just start as areas of thunderstorms, quite innocuous, and then they can finish up like that. Bringing absolute carnage and devastation to populated areas in the southern part of the United States. It is absolutely unbelievable. Wow, looks like power's going out there. Absolutely unbelievable. what these systems can do and how they develop. So yeah, hopefully everybody is safe. Hopefully everybody down there is safe down on the Louisiana, Texas coast, Gulf Coast of the United States. It is quite amazing and devastating and catastrophic and all of those words that we associate. Somebody's standing there on the very far very far right hand side of the screen there. So that person, I mean, wow, that person really is in the eye of it, isn't he? Anyway, let's move on. We've got some quite wet weather coming up in the UK today, and we've got weather warnings unexpectedly actually from the UK Met. So here's the latest radar picture from the Weather Outlook. I mean, that what we're just looking at just put things in perspective. So what we've got coming up today is just heavy rain, and there may be some thunderstorms tomorrow, but obviously nothing like what's going on the Gulf Coast of States. But even so, you know, we've got to talk about it. So here we go. So we've got outbreaks of rain in the west, and you can see it across Wales and South West England. That rain has turned heavy. This radar picture from Weather Outlook. Rain has turned heavy and persistent down in the south and in the southwest. That's going to push northwards and eastwards across much of England and Wales through the course of this afternoon. Meanwhile, further northwards, we've got showery outbreaks of rain. So I've got weather warnings from UK Met. I've got a rain warning today. Let's click on that and see what they're saying. This rain warning is for the south and southeast of England. So heavy rain leading to difficult driving conditions and possible disruption to transport. This is valid from 11:30 this morning to 7 o'clock this evening. They say spray and flooding on roads probably making journey times longer. Bus and train services may be affected with journey time taking longer. Flooding of one or two homes or businesses is possible. So that's a warning for today. There is general rain across many parts of the country today, but the heaviest down in the south. Then tomorrow, let's just go over to there, Friday. So tomorrow we've got a more widespread warning for thunderstorms across parts of England and Wales. So again, this is for the whole of southern England, East Anglia, South East England, much of the Midlands into South Wales. This valid from 11 o'clock tomorrow to 8 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. They're saying heavy showers and thunderstorms could bring some disruption, especially to transport. So yeah, got to be plenty of rain coming up in the next couple of days. Take care, everyone, if you're out and about. The central temperature continues its slow and inexorable drop, or seemingly inexorable drop. So we're currently standing now with the CET at 18.5, 18.5 degrees, an anomaly of 2.7 degrees above average. So still very, very warm. It's been a very warm month. Very, very hot start to the month, of course. This is provisional up to yesterday, the 26th of August. And so we're going to see this dropping further there. But any chance of an 18 Celsius CET August is gone now, because we're already at 18.5 and we've still got around 3 really cool nights to come over the bank holiday weekend. So Saturday night and Sunday night. So Saturday to Sunday and then Sunday to Mondays are going to be very, very cool. They'll have another one like Monday night, Tuesday, I think. But of course, that will be for the start of September. But we have 2 really cool nights. So I think any chance of an 18 Celsius CET August is gone now. I think we're going to finish up somewhere mid to high 17. So the wait for an 18 CET looked like this was going to be it, didn't it? It really did look like this was going to be it. But just these last few days of the month are going to scupper it. So the wait for an 18 Celsius CET August is going to go on. It's going to go on for another year. Early September, though, could well get warmer. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flow charts from the Penn State University for the next week, 10 days, with the ECMWF on the top and the GFS on the bottom. So you can see, so this takes us to like day 7 to 10. That takes us to around the 6th to the 7th of September. You can see that the ECM has this ridge of above average heights to our east and northeast, a little bit of below average heights in the North Atlantic. Jet stream's doing something like that. So turning very warm. It's going to turn very warm through for a few days anyway, potentially through the first week of September. Should turn a bit drier as well, I think, particularly for the south and southeast, although probably not lasting all that long. We'll go through the data in a moment. This is how the GFS is looking So our GFS looking with below average heights to the north, above average heights to the south. Winds are sort of being from a westerly direction. So yeah, both of them are a little bit on the anticyclonic side for the first week of September, suggesting something a little bit drier and warmer coming up, but probably not warm for all that long. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. So let's couple of weeks. Let's look at 6Z is updated. So 6Z is updated. So yes, these GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks from the 6Z. Red line is 30-year. We're looking at London today at New Weather Central. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average. We're starting off quite close to average at the moment. Temperature is going to fall away as we go through the closing days of August. So these are where our cold nights are coming in. That's where our cold nights are coming in from around the turn of the month. Through the first week of September, first days of September, we see the temperatures lifting up, then becoming quite warm. Probably peaking sometime around the 4th, 5th of September, going between around 10 Celsius, 15 Celsius, 850 HPA, and then we get a lot of scatter coming along. So we've got these very warm ensemble members up here, we've got much cooler ensemble members just here. I think the general trend is probably to start cooling things down, so it becomes quite warm, maybe even locally hot down in the south, sometime around the 4th of September for a day or two, and then probably cooling down, probably seeing a drop in the temperature as we go further out through the first week of September into the second week of September. However, you will have gathered by so much scatter that there is a lot of uncertainty. September is always an uncertain month, and this one is no exception to that. So it's possible we could set up a heat wave through like the rest of the first week of September and into the second week of September. We could set up a heat wave, but I think the more likely outcome is that we get like a very warm couple of days, sometime around the 3rd to the 5th, and then probably cool things down. Precipitation wise, plenty more rain to come over the next couple of days. We've already established that. Then it's drying out through bank holiday weekend into the early part of next week. It turns drier. And then as we go further out through the first week of September, the second week, it begins to turn more unsettled once again. Okay, so temperature anomalies from the 27th of August to the 4th of September, generally a little bit below average. Because we're starting off very cool at the moment, of course. We've got these cold nights to come over bank holiday weekend. As we get into next week, we'll probably see these trending warmer than average for a few days anyway. Precipitation anomalies from the 27th of August to 4th of September, quite close to average, not a particularly big deviation either way, but I would suggest perhaps a little bit more on the drier than average side, probably just a little bit more on the drier than average side. This is the latest wind flow map from earthnorthschool.net for our side of the Atlantic. Of course, we saw this earlier on in the video in the Gulf of Mexico and some parts of America. This is on our side of the Atlantic. So you see we've got low pressure dominating today. There's an area of low pressure that's sitting just to west of Ireland, low pressure through there. There's a weather system coming through here, and so yeah, it's unsettled. We're dominated by low pressure again at the moment, but at least it's not as stormy as it was a few days ago. This is how the UK Met Office is looking for Sunday. So on Sunday, we'll bring this ridge in from off the Atlantic. The weather will turn more settled over that kind of weekend, but with winds in from the north, it will be quite cool. Into the early part of next week, that ridge sort of slips eastwards, got low pressure out to west, winds are starting to pull up from the south, and so it might turn more unsettled actually as we go through to the middle part of next week. We might set off some more heavy showers with high pressure up to our northeast. So certainly not particularly settled there up to the 2nd of September actually. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking. So again, high pressure toppling in from west on Sunday. That's turning us mainly dry. Under that ridge of high pressure will be quite cold, so cold nights coming up. And then we have this sort of ridge extending through the country through to Tuesday. So again, good deal of dry weather to around Tuesday. And then the ridge gradually starts to slip eastwards from Wednesday to Thursday. We start to bring in some quite warm air from the south, but it is still a bit unsettled up to the north with some lower pressure up there. That's how the upper air temperatures are looking for Thursday, the 3rd of September. Quite warm, especially so down across the south. However, the high pressure quickly begins to reposition as we go into the weekend of the 5th and 6th of September. High pressure is repositioning out to our west. That's starting to turn the wind into the north. Wind is beginning to turn into the north, and so cooler air is beginning to move southwards. And hinting actually we get to day 10, which is Sunday the 6th of September, just hinting that we might be starting to turn things a little bit more unsettled. Look at the cool down that's going on with the upper air temperatures by then. Sunday the 6th of September, bringing cooler air in from the north. We're going to the extended range of this GFS run, and quite a bit of high pressure around, so not particularly unsettled, but I think temperatures are a little bit on the cool and autumnal side. This is how the GM is looking. So again, winds in from the north on Sunday. That's going to bring some cool air with it. Then the high pressure over to the east of the country. For the open next week, plenty of dry weather, will be quite cool. Middle of next week, the high pressure going to slip southwards. We start to introduce some warmer air from the south and from the southwest. So yeah, upper air temperatures begin to lift up around the middle part of next week, becoming quite warm down in the south, but only for a day or two. And then winds turning to the north to northwest, cools down. There's probably a cold front coming through, brings some rain as well. And upper air temperatures become much cooler. By day 10, actually very cool upper air temperatures with a 0 Celsius ice firm slipping southwards across the country. Then the ECM looks like this. So the ECM has winds in from the north on Sunday. It will be turning drier, but it will be quite cool. Into the early part of next week, quite a bit of dry weather over to the east country, some lower pressure out to the west. So mainly dry there. As we go through to the middle part of next week, low pressure just starts coming off the Atlantic, but at the same time, we're pulling up warmer air from the south and southwest. So the ECM is turning warmer, turning much warmer actually, turning very warm. Looking at upper air temperatures, bringing the 15 Celsius ice firm into England and Wales by the end of next week. That could lift temperatures back to around 27 or 28 degrees, around 80 Fahrenheit down in the south if it comes off. So the ECM is probably the hottest of all the models, for the first week of September. Still looking very warm with a lot of dry weather there on Saturday. By the time we get through to Sunday, still under high pressure really, so mainly dry for this first week of September with the ECM. But the upper air temperatures then are beginning to lower. We are beginning to lower the upper air temperatures from the north. It does become harder and harder the further on we go through September. It does become harder and harder to sustain that plus 10 Celsius and plus 15 Celsius ice firm for more than a few days. This is the rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. So just whiz through this very quickly. Very wet across many parts of the country today. More heavy showers and thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Then we've got this drying trend away from the southeast anyway, developing through Saturday. Into rest of the weekend, a lot of dry weather, some shower burst rain out to west, but most places mainly dry through to like the middle of next week. And then in the second half of next week again, this is a lot of dry weather. There's a few showers coming and going, but quite a bit of dry weather really up to day 10. These are the options I've got on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 6th of September. We have 13 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure out to our west, northwest, and to our south. Some low pressure up to the north. So quite a bit of dry weather with that. I mean, we could bring in some cooler air from the north perhaps, but also some warmer air from the south, trying to be involved. But so contrasting air masses, but quite a bit of dry weather as we're under high pressure. 12 members of the ECM Ensembles, including the control and the operational run, with some slightly lower pressure out to the northwest. However, really high pressure is still in control with most of these. 10 just here with low pressure to our east, high pressure to the west. That's going to be a cooler option. That'll be a cooler scenario. 9 with high pressure over country and to the east. That should be mainly warm and dry. 5 with high pressure over country and to the west. And then 2, just 2, but look much more unsettled with high pressure out to the northwest and low pressure to our east. Winds are coming in from a northeasterly direction there. That suggests a lot of high pressure influences, I think, up to the 6th of September. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This one gets us to the 11th of September. We have 18 members of the ECM Ensemble looking much more unsettled. Low pressure over to the east country, high pressure pulling out into the Atlantic. That's cool, unsettled, and autumnal. 10 with low pressure over into the southwest of the country. That's going to be very unsettled, maybe quite warm, but will be very, very unsettled. 9 with high pressure weakening to our northeast and west, some low pressure to our south. That's probably turning things a bit more unsettled. 7 with high pressure over Scandinavia. Winds are light in from an east-southeast direction. Should be mainly dry and quite warm with that one. And then 7 with low pressure to our east, high pressure to our west. Winds probably coming in from a northwesterly direction. So I think generally in around 2 weeks' time, the ECM Ensembles are probably shifting to something just a little bit more unsettled. And then finally, we've got the 500 millibar Untitled Anomalies from the Beijing Climate Centre for the next 40 days. These sent through by my good friend Dylan Holbrook, so thank you Dylan for sending these through. This is day 1 to 10, 500 millibar high dominantly from the 26th of August, 4th of September. Looks unsettled for the next few days. Low pressure is in off the Atlantic, so an unsettled end to August. The next 10-day period, raising, this is from the 5th to the 14th of September, by the way, raising heights to the south, some low pressure to the north, beginning to shift northwards with jet stream, turning a little bit drier and warmer there. The next 10-day period looks rather anticyclonic. This is from the 15th 24th of September, higher pressure close to the country, so should be a fair amount of dry weather coming through in that one. And then the final 10-day period takes us from the 25th of September to 4th of October. Lower pressure again to the north, higher pressure over to the south of the country. If that's right, we should have quite a bit of dry weather actually through this September. Should be quite a bit of dry weather to enjoy. Right, so got all through all of that within 25 minutes. I think that's pretty good going given everything that we had to discuss in this video. If you've enjoyed the video, then please give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. The subs are going up very, very quickly at the moment on the channel due to all of the really interesting weather that's going on all over the place. So make sure you're sub to the channel if you are new and you haven't yet done so. We'll be back later on with the latest USA forecast, so come back for that then. But for this video, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.